Okay, so one of the things that has impacted my journey in internet television is, of course, my own personal journey of relationships, just like you. We're all affected by our relationships and the journeys that are contained therein. So, I've been working on Pack Stereo for a long time. I had an indie music label, did 9 CD releases. That's up there on Amazon and on iTunes. And then somewhere around 2005, I began this excursion into what was to become internet television, seeking to define it, develop it, and I found myself working alone. And then I looked to my people around me and I asked Victor Allen because he, of all my friends, has been the most consistent in terms of these kinds of things. And so together he and I began to develop this platform of Paxter Internet Television. Now, Victor, you got to talk to him. He's got his own views of what it should be. I mean, in other words, that's the part of the whole thing. We reflect the two different individuals and their approach. You know, me coming from that heavy duty technical approach because I had, been able to define a system that would broadcast 24/7 for cheap. In other words, it had become readily available to connect through the internet. And then the radio station software was now, which had its own kind of built-in artificial intelligence. The radio station software was now adaptable to playing videos. And when I approached the people about that, they said they had never thought about it, but that they would support me in this journey. So I took the radio station software, did mostly video programming, and then streamed that live 24/7. Ambitious, correct? Simple in a lot of ways, but ambitious. And using the same kind of technology, which was like whiteboarding, which allowed people to share documents real time across the internet live, like in meetings. Using that same kind of basic cheap technology, you're able to share videos. So hence, I adapted this radio station software and convinced Victor Allen to help me. Didn't take much convincing. I just asked him. And he bought into it, and we began to develop 24/7 programming. And no one in LA would give us any broadcasting stuff because, we were nobody. They were, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Just don't get it. Well, we started doing the broadcasting stuff ourselves because no one would give us the stuff. So what you're seeing is that experiment. That's what I want you to understand. That we are not BET. We are not any of those things. We are a revolutionary experiment and a prototype developed by two brothers who right here in View Park. Like I said, we may not be in the ghetto, but we can see the fence. Yeah. So, hey. So, this development of this enterprise, as you watch it, that's why I said be aware that you're part of the experiment. That's why I'm doing these. I'm practicing, and you're watching me practice. See what I'm saying? I'm experimenting with communicating through social media, and you're experimenting by watching me. So we are partners in this experiment, and I salute you and appreciate you dearly. Know that. Can you tell? I want to make sure I express that because who would have guessed that the internet and social media would have become what it was? I was hiding out in the cave. And now I'm communicating with you all. Okay? So I wanted you to understand that. But the real purpose of explaining this was why my relationship status had so much to do with my development of internet television. Because I arrived when I left work that day at Kaiser, that day in October 2015, and I left and began to work on my health and take that journey, I arrived at a place where I had decided I was no longer going to practice medicine. I was going to retire. And the kind of medicine that I did, it's you say goodbye. You say goodbye. You don't do, some people do, but for me, you say goodbye to intensive care and critical care and emergency. You say goodbye. And you're left with some PTSD and some scars, but that's okay. Do that willingly, but just say goodbye. And so I looked up one day, and there I was, like, well, I don't know. So this is 19. See, it's 19. So that was 4 years ago. So I was 59 years of age, and I had no wife, no children, no job, and I was a loose cannon. I'm saying it again. No wife, no children, no job. So I was a loose cannon, loose cannon. And so even today, I need you to at least understand one thing about me. Part of the reason that I do things is that I am a risk taker. I always was a risk taker. And now that I arrived at this point, I am even more so, even though now things are changed. I have a woman in a relationship. Though I don't have children, I have a bunch of new adoptees that are young, my staff, and it feels wonderful to have them. So, and then my job with Pack Stereo's even more defined. So now you can understand, at least that is your little preview into Mauro Hemsley. And I want to thank you once again for being with me on this journey that is internet television. Let's see where we end up. I'm betting we win.